Hi, everyone. This is Cassandra Washington from Teach and Take Time for You. I'm coming to you on a Sunday. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. And I am just thinking about some things when it comes to self care. And as a former principal, how, we may possibly lead by example when it comes to self care. We hear a whole lot about teacher self care, right? Principal self care, just everybody self care, teacher wellness, principal wellness. But as leaders in a school, I was just wondering how many people actually lead by example. So I had some thoughts in mind, and I said, well, let me just come on for a few minutes and talk about it, and then hopefully we can drive some conversation around the topic of leading and taking time for you. So I know myself when I was a principal, I didn't actually think about self care at the time. And of course, as we know, over time, things weigh you down, affect your health, whether it's physical health, your mental health, or your emotional health. It just does. That's what stress does. And the job is so heavy and stressful sometimes as a principal, as an assistant principal, as a superintendent or district administrator, and even as a teacher. There's a lot going on every day in a normal school day, right? A lot of people don't know that unless you really actually work in a school and you see stuff is happening all day long and just like I'm putting out fires, this, that, what, but phone is ringing, parents are calling, all kinds of things are happening throughout the day, and you don't get a chance to catch your breath sometime. But I want to talk about leading by example when it comes to self-care. Well, we're telling teachers and our workers, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. But if they look at us as school leaders and they see that we're not doing that, so you're telling me to take care of myself, but you're not taking care of yourself. Or you're telling me to take care of myself as a teacher, but you keep piling on stuff, right? Or you're micromanaging and so many other little things that I'm going to bring up. So this is not a session where I'm putting people down. No, I don't want you to think that. This is just a session where I want you to be self reflective. That's what I always want. I want people to be self reflective and think about your own self care and how your teachers and staff members may perceive you in your building when it comes to your own wellness and your own self care. So I do have some questions that I want to ask first. And first, how does your staff see you um, as a self care advocate? How do they see you? What's their perception of you? The second thing I want to say is I have some questions because I'm asking these questions because I know what my answer was when I was a principal. First of all, I know we never sleep because we always have stuff on our minds about the school and about our staff and our kids and our parents and the community and all of that stuff. So, in the middle of the night, are you sending emails out at 2 or 3 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning because you can't sleep and stuff is on your mind? You're like, if I don't type it now, I'm going to forget it later. Yes, you probably do that. I know I did that. Are you a micromanager? Now, I wasn't a micromanager, but I know some people are. And I'm just asking that question. Are you a micromanager? Are you one of those ones where you're always, on someone's or in their space? Did you do this? Did you do that? Is this done? You're sending out the emails. You haven't done this. Blah, blah, blah. Is that you? Okay. Just be honest if that is you. Um, are you at the school at the crack of dawn, 5, 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and are you there 12 hours later at 6:30 at night? Is that you? Be honest if that is you. I knew I would get to the school early, thinking I'm getting there early because it's quiet and maybe I can get some stuff done. But and I wasn't leaving there until 6 or 6:30, 7 o'clock. And where I live, there's always a lot of traffic. So there was an hour, at least an hour going home, sometimes an hour and a half. If it was snowing outside, that was 2 hours. And sometimes they would shut down certain streets for festivals and stuff. So, that drive time was long, long, long. Um, are you just piling on directives on your staff and your teachers? And I know sometimes as administrators, we pile on the staff because we're being piled on by the district. But sometimes we have to know when to say, that's just a little too much for them. That's too much for our teachers. It's too much for everybody. And what's going to happen if we don't do that or we modify it? So, are you piling on directives? You know, I got to have the lesson plans. I got to have, or quarterly lesson plans. I got to have monthly lesson plans. I got to have weekly lesson plans. I need this report. I need that report. I need to see this. I need to see that. Is that you? Okay. Well, think about that. Are you not sleeping? It's hard. I know I used to have insomnia because I had so much on my brain of stuff that I had to do. And yeah, so your body will eventually break down. So are you not sleeping? Are you not eating healthy? You're missing your breakfast. You're missing your lunch. Then maybe by the time you get home, you eat your dinner, but it's so late, you're eating that late dinner and then you're falling asleep. That's not good at all either. Taking the time to eat your breakfast, take the time to eat lunch. And I know it's hard. You're trying to eat your lunch sometimes in your office, and guess what's happening? People are knocking on the door. Are you busy? Okay, yeah, Um, Here's a big one. You know, we're human, our bodies break down. We make doctor's appointments, we cancel those doctor appointments. Is that you? Are you canceling all your doctor's appointments because you just feel like I don't have time? I don't have time. I have so much to do. I can't do it right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop. Make those doctor appointments and you go to that doctor. Take my word for it. You will appreciate me saying that. You go to the doctor. Um, are you not meeting your family obligations? If you have children, or you have a spouse, they need you. Or you have a mate, they need you. And they have things that you don't attend because you're at the school. Or it's like, one more thing, I have to do one more thing, and I'll be there late, but I'm coming, I'm coming. And then by the time you get there, either the event is over, your child has already performed, everybody's mad at you. Is that you? Okay, it probably is. For some of you, it probably is. And lastly, the last question, are you just too tired to have a life? You need balance. You got to have a life. In order to be a good boss and to lead by example, you have to have a life. It's called living, and not living for a job. Living. The school will survive without you for a day or two. Take my word for it, it will. Because guess what? If something happens to you, they'll have someone in place in a matter of days. So those are some questions I have for you because I'm asking, are you leading by example? What does your staff see? What do they see? They see you missing doctor appointments. They see you coming to work sick. They see that you're piling on directives. They see that you're sending out those late emails, and they're thinking, this chick is nuts. This boss is nuts. Why, what does she expect us to do? Oh, yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they may not say it, but believe me, they're thinking. So think about what their perception is of all of these things where you think, I got to go hard all the time. I got to get stuff done. And if it's not done, I'm going to come for you. So what is your staff's perception of you when it comes to self-care? So since we are leading by example, right? You got to create that atmosphere of self-care and model it for your staff, right? It's like gradual release of responsibility. It's like GRR. I do, We do, you do. I do by showing them that I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm leaving the school at a decent hour. I'm letting them know that everything is not like we got to do it right now. I'm showing them that I'm not micromanaging and so many other things that we do as leaders that we don't necessarily recognize, but we're doing it. We're doing it. So it's that gradual release of responsibility that I do where I don't get to school at the crack of dawn. Yes, I get there an hour before where I have enough time to settle and get some things done, but I'm not staying to 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30, whatever. Everybody leaves the building. I had a principal once, when she left the building, we all left the building. And she had 3 sons. And 4:30, she's like, I gotta go home to my kids. Everybody out. Okay. Guess what? Everybody left. So we learned to manage our time and do what we needed to do as far as grading papers, doing planning, whatever it was, because we knew that Ms. Niedermeyer, Principal Niedermeyer, was shutting that door at 4:30, and we all had to get up out of there. So it's okay that you get up out of there at 4:30 or whatever, and just let people know, I gotta go. It's not because I don't have a lack of things to do, but I have some things to do for my family and my personal life. Lead by example. The we do, then let's do this together. Like I said, when Ms. Niedermeyer left, we left. That was a we do. Y'all get up out of here. I'm gone. And I told the engineer and the janitors, lock it up, put the alarm on. So we do as far as we're not sending them responding to late night emails. We eat healthy. We take our lunches. We take our breaks. We don't, and the same thing. If a teacher can take a break for lunch, the principal can take a break for lunch. Goes both ways. We do. And then the you do, since you have led by example and you've done step 2 of we do, then they know it becomes a habit where it's the you do. They will do it if we allow them and show them that it is okay to take self-care as a priority. So I just want you to make sure you're practicing what you preach. Don't just say, oh, we're going to do a PD on self-care. Okay, that's okay. But then nobody respects what we learned about self-care. So set that example of being the self-care leader, the self-care leader. What I want you to do, and you're saying, okay, all right, this girl, she's talking some stuff. But what I want you to do, I want you to spend the time to reflect and change your ways, right? Because you got to reflect first about the things that you're doing. Maybe come up with a self-care management plan of your own. And then have something where with your teachers, you can do a self-care management plan. I think with teachers, a lot of them they want the time. Yes, it's nice to have the little massages and the spa time, where they come to your school and they give you the massages, Jean Day and all that stuff. But that's not what teachers really want. And make sure you ask them what you want. Survey them and see what they really, really want and what they need. Because a lot of times I hear, well, my principal doesn't support me. My assistant principal doesn't support me. But what does that look like? Well, you don't know what it looked like until they tell you. So that means you got to ask. So reflect and change your ways. And you say, where do I start? I say reflect and reassess. That's one. Create a self-care plan and follow it. Follow it, people. It's hard. I'm speaking from experience. And then, it's like show me. It's the show me part. So you show your staff, I'm from Missouri, show me, I'm the show me state, but I'm not from Missouri. So your teachers are saying, show me. So you show them what it looks like. Let them see you taking some time for yourself. Let them see you taking a day or off work. Let them see you not sending emails at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. and let them, you got to speak it. You got to speak it and you got to show it. Self-care is the priority. It should be an atmosphere in your building. And like I said, stop and find out what support looks like for your staff, what they need. Get to know them, build those relationships, find out what makes them tick, find out their triggers, find out what stresses them out to no point of no return before they walk out the door. So, all of those things, just, people need support socially and emotionally, not just the physical part of it, socially and emotionally. What's going on up in here? How are we getting along with people? um, who are those people who have those personality clashes, things like that. If you're going to lead by example, or you're going to be the self-care advocate leader in your building, then you got to find out some things about your staff. So you have a lot to think about, people. You got a lot to think about. You do. And I hope that this little chat actually gets you to thinking, but not thinking at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I need you to get your sleep. You take some walks before, early evening or something, so you can go to sleep. Don't self-medicate and sip wine all the time. I used to do that. So, I needed my glass of wine. But it wasn't until later when my body said enough is enough that I figured out that self-care really is a priority. And again, love talking to you all. This is Cassandra Washington from Teach and Take Time for You. Our title was Lead and Take Time for You. Become the self-care advocate at your school. You all have a wonderful week, and hope to see you soon.